There, welcome back to the Garden Like a Guru show. Promised y'all a new format, and we got a new format. We're shaking things up. I'm glad we're doing this a little after April Fools because I want you to all take it seriously. So, what we're going to be doing from here on in is we're going to be doing these 15-minute, 10 to 15-minute what's going on in the garden weekly updates, completely independent of other stuff. We're going to be putting them up on Facebook. We're going to be making them a whole lot more available to people. And we're going to try and get them out on a couple of other social media platforms as well. Uh, Big news is the reason we're doing this is that so that we can make some room for some real growth and expansion and better learning experiences for people. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be archiving all of our courses. We're going to be putting everything together into some nice, tight format, and we're going to be offering it to people in a variety of ways. So, if you want to take the courses, we're going to be setting those up in a way that people can come in at a minimal amount of money for them to get access to all of this wonderful information. If people want to make a $20 or more donation per month, then that gets them into level one. Now, the very first thing you get when you get into level one is we mail you out our absolutely fabulous Garden Like a Guru calendar. Okay. Now, this is the calendar that we base all of our episodes and everything on. It's every month has a stunning picture and a wonderful outline of some business or facet of gardening in the area. And then each and every page gives you the moon sign, the moon phases, its placement, an idea of what you need to be doing on that date, what you're going to be doing biodynamically. So that's for level one. And that's $20 a month or up, strictly by donation. And we'll honor that. If you sign up, we'll send you the calendar. There's a variety of other things that you get with it too. You get our planting chart, you get the planting grid, you get the companion planting lists, you get the sacred geometry worksheets, you get all of that that you need to get going on. So that's going to allow people to access all sorts of wonderful information. And the people who want to get even a little more serious, we've got a second level. Now, this one we've actually set a price on, okay? The other one we're going by donation, but this is a pretty significant commitment on our part. So we're asking people to put in $55 a month or $550 for the whole year. And this gives them access to all of our archived courses, all of the stuff that is right there waiting for them. They can, as soon as they pay that, they can start accessing those absolutely immediately. And then we've got another level for those who really want to get into sponsorship. This is $330 a month or $3,330 a year. But what you get with that is absolutely everything that we've listed so far. You get the date book, you get the journal, you get the calendar, you get all of our handouts. And over and above that, you get consultation time with me. And it's not just a consultation, okay? It is up to 30-minute consultations with me, and I'll actually be willing to break some of those down into 15-minute consultations as we move through, if that's what you feel you need. So we're going to come back and talk about that a wee bit more maybe. And the other exciting part, and we'll get back to this for sure a little later on, is I have made the momentous decision to take on a few apprentices. And these apprenticeships are going to be offered It's my hope that they'll be offered yearly. This is going to be a first year. We're going to give it a go. I want to get into the weekly update for you, though. I want to make sure that we get that information, and then we'll come back and talk apprenticeships, because it's another whole level of commitment. So and as I said, these weekly updates, these little blurbs of what's going on astrologically and biodynamically, we're going to try and make those as widely as possible. Feel free to share them all over the place. This is a way that people can access this information and start implementing it right away. So here we are, 4th of April, 1920, or 4th of April, 2022. You can tell when I was born. So, we've just come past a new moon here. The moon's bit was new on the 31st. We're coming into this first phase. Right now, today, we're in Taurus, and Taurus is really a good solid sign for planting, especially for root growth. If your ground is thawed out, get the peas in the ground, get the spinach in the ground, get the radishes in the ground, get those cold lovers going. You got corn salad or claytonia, get that in the ground too. Get those fresh spring greens going for you. It's a wonderful time to get them going and get some good root development. We're going to go void, of course, this evening at almost 7 o'clock, at like 53 minutes past 6. We're going to slide into a void, of course. And we're not going to emerge into Gemini until much later into the evening. Not time for doing a lot of gardening. We're going to be about 8 o'clock before we slide into Gemini. Hey, if you're a night owl, go crazy. Once we're in Gemini, the opportunity to plant melons is great. Now there's a few things that you can plant in Gemini, but it's the melon family that particularly does well. And keep in mind, your cucumbers are part of that melon family. Okay. So we've got Gemini going all day Tuesday with absolutely no interruptions. And it's going to keep right on trucking through all day Wednesday till about 8 o'clock in the evening, when it goes void, of course. Now it goes void, of course, but it doesn't leave Gemini yet. So you have got all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday to attend to planting those melons, getting those cucumbers in the ground, and any of your other Gemini attendant jobs. Now, Gemini is great for pruning, and if you haven't got that done out in your garden, you might want to take a solid look at that. So, that's gonna, that brings us right through Gemini, and to midweek. Now, these apprenticeships that we're looking at doing, we're offering some options. One thing that's becoming a somewhat urgent need, though, is an apprenticeship in our area, an apprentice in our area that's willing to come out and work in the demonstration garden with us. This would provide a fabulous opportunity for somebody who wants to learn step by step by step. This is where we're going to be doing a lot of the filming. This is where we're going to be doing all sorts of little experimental things. How does this work? How does that work? It's a fabulous opportunity. The garden is magical. It's on a lovely slope right above Shuswap Lake. Anytime you stand up to take a stretch, give your back a rest from bending over, and you've got this incredible vista of the lake sparkling in the sun. I'd encourage people to end the day with a quick dip in the lake, because it's right there. And, we'll be able to be doing that this summer. The other the apprenticeships that I'm looking at offering are going to be somewhat more detailed, because people aren't going to be necessarily be living right where we are. So we're going to be doing a lot of virtual stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, by distance, by filming. and live Zooms like this where we can consult on what's going in your garden. And in those apprenticeships, the apprentices will actually be working on their home garden in their home turf. And that's a very, very unique situation. And so we're going to be getting really creative with how people can do this in a way that they can afford to do it, and I can ensure that they're getting what they need to make sure that they can go forward in confidence. So these apprenticeships are going to be paid back, paid for by the apprentices instead of coming and working in my garden at my place or the demonstration garden. You'll be working in your own garden. You're going to be completing various tasks that you and I have pre-agreed on for myself, for what's going on in my world and to meet my needs. So I broke down the cost of this. If people are interested in an apprenticeship, but are not interested in any kind of work trade agreement to achieve that apprenticeship, we're going to be looking at $1,000 a month for the 8 months of the gardening season. Or if you pay ahead in one lump sum, it'll be $6,000. So we're looking though more, I'm really more interested in people who want to do exchange to earn their apprenticeship. It interests me far, far more than accepting your money and then having to run around and find people to do the work that I just want to get done. Okay, so back to our week to come because we only got as far as Wednesday. Now Thursday, early in the morning, about 6:30 in the morning, we're going to slide out of that void of course state with Gemini and come full on into Cancer. So you're going to be in the first quarter and you're going to be in Cancer. Now, just as Taurus as an earth sign is a wonderful sign to plant under for root growth and long, sturdy development, Cancer as a water sign is a wide open invitation to plant absolutely anything and everything that is seasonally appropriate. So you've got all day Thursday to do all of the planting and transplanting that your heart could desire. You've got absolutely all day Friday. Now, at almost midnight Friday night, the moon goes into the second quarter. It passes that first quarter phase. It'll be that lovely, perfect D in the sky when you look up there, and it'll be moon quarter. Now, that isn't much of a worry for Cancer. The planting energy in the second quarter is super dynamic as well. That moon is still swelling, it's still growing, and there's something to be said for that second quarter sturdiness and strength. So just as in the first quarter, you added sturdiness and strength by having Taurus. Here in this period of time, we're sliding into the second quarter. That second quarter is a little bit sturdier. You add that with the Cancer energy, and Saturday is a stellar day for planting up until about 10 o'clock at night. The moon goes void, of course, at 6 o'clock, but void, of course, does not mean that it is no longer in Cancer. It's just not a good time to start things. But by all means, press on through and finish up because it doesn't really enter Leo till 2100, which is 9 o'clock at night. So, you're good to go for planting all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then take a deep breath because on Sunday we've moved into Leo. We move into Leo late Saturday night, and Sunday is an uninterrupted Leo day. Now, Leo is actually okay, especially in the second quarter for planting, anything of the fruit variety. I think it's a little early unless perhaps you're down on the coast, the BC coast, or in a very mild place. Perhaps the southern Okanagan, you're thawed out enough to do this, but about the only thing you could really successfully plant under Leo are your fruit bearing things, so your berry bushes and your fruit trees. But Leo's a wonderful time of the year, of the moon, to be taking care of pruning, taking care of any eradication of stuff. If you've got stuff coming up in the garden right now that you know you don't want, we were in the demonstration garden and taking a look at all of the volunteer mullein that we've got going crazy for us. Now, hey, we love mullein. We just don't want it all through the strawberry bed, and we don't want it where we're trying to get the carrots to go to seed, and I'm not even sure we want it in with the raspberries. So this is a really, really good sign to take that mullein out under you. You pull things out under a fire sign, they're inhibited a fair bit in terms of growing back. Now, if you want to really cement that energy, you burn the plants that you've taken out and you sprinkle the ash in the area that you don't want that plant to grow anymore. That's a really, really solid biodynamic principle and methodology of dealing with pests. Now, in our case, we're not going to burn our mullein because although we don't want it growing where it's growing, we certainly want it. So our mullein is going to be dehydrated and used in all sorts of herbal and tea blends all winter long. So that's the year, or the week in review, rather. That's what we got coming up. Keep in mind, that we're offering this out here to people free. We're putting it up on as many platforms as we can. And we'd really, really like it if you could keep in mind that we've got another whole level of information going on. You can check out the courses. You can check out the apprenticeships. I've got a Facebook page personally, and we've got the Wise Women Seeds Facebook page and the Wise Women Facebook group. We're going to be expanding our social media presence, and we're going to be doing a lot more exciting stuff on the website, which is wisewomanseeds.ca. Um, and hey, have a great first week of April out there. See y'all next week.